Avodah Zarah Parakol Atzlamim Daf Mem Beis, sponsored for a bracha of Hatzlacha for Yecheskel ben Ari Nesanel. The Gemara distinguished between fragments of an image and fragments of an idol. Fragments of an idol are prohibited because one certainly worshipped it, but uncertain if he shattered, nullified it. Ve'ein safek motzi midei vadai. The Gemara continues to question this rule. A maidservant threw a stillborn child into a pit. A Kohen examined the pit from above to determine its gender and consequently her period of tumah and tara that differ for a male and female. Although uncertain whether the fetus was in the pit or dragged away by a weasel, when the Kohen examined it, the sages declared him pure. Apparently, its initial definite presence is not decisive. The answer: number one, the cases where she threw an amniotic sac in the pit, uncertain if air-filled or containing a fetus. They pronounced the Kohen pure because of a spek sveka, a double doubt. Perhaps there was no fetus in the sac, and even if there, perhaps it was dragged away by a weasel. Number two, it is presumed by the time the Kohen examined the pit, the weasel already dragged the fetus away. Rabbi Yochanan questions Reish Lakish's opinion. Fragments accidentally shattered are permitted. Our Mishnah states a Jew cannot benefit from a found form of a hand or foot. Apparently, an image that could have broken accidentally is prohibited. The answer: these body parts were mounted on a base, indicating they did not originate from fragments. Question: a brisa states an idolater, not a Jew, can nullify another idolater's idol. According to Reish Lakish, why should a Jew breaking it be less effective than accidental shattering? The answer: number one, Abaye explained the Jew disfigured but did not diminish it. Only an idolater who disfigures nullifies, but when a Jew disfigures, an idolater accepts its dent, not negating its power. Number two, Rav explained disfiguring is tantamount to diminishing. Despite this, a Jew cannot benefit from it because the Rabbanan were concerned a Jew would acquire before nullification, rendering the nullification null and void. Similarly, a Jew removed a pile of stones used to worship Markelis, used them to pave a street. Jews cannot walk on them. A Jew shaved wooden chips from an Asherah. Jews cannot use them for fuel. He cut off the head of a dragon. Jews cannot benefit from it. Metal idols cannot be ground and thrown into the wind because it fertilizes. All these cases, the concern is the same as disfiguring. He acquired them before nullification. Question: Rabbi Yossi holds one cannot plant vegetables under an Asherah tree even in the winter when shade is detrimental because its foliage is fertilizer. According to Reish Lakish, it should be permitted because they are fragments from an idol. The answer: the primary idol, the tree, is still intact. Additionally, the idolater desires the foliage to fall. Unlike wooden shavings that diminish the tree, this natural process benefits it. Question: a brisa states a nest on an Asherah tree can be knocked down with a stick for fuel. The bird breaking off twigs to build its nest is tantamount to accidental shattering. Apparently, Reish Lakish is correct. Accidental shattering nullifies its idolatrous status. The answer: Rabbi Yochanan explains it is permitted because the bird built a nest from twigs of other trees. The proof: the first ruling of the brisa states if the tree was consecrated, using the nest is rabbinically, not biblically prohibited. This can only be because the twigs came from another tree, prohibited because one may mistakenly benefit from the one consecrated. Similarly, twigs of the Asherah's nest came from other trees. The refutation: number one, perhaps the nest was from new twigs that grew after consecration, not susceptible to misappropriation. Number two, knocking it down was for the chicks, not for the twigs or eggs. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.